The Gift of the Magi Wrapped Gift. A heartfelt Christmas story. It was Christmas Eve in the bustling city. Snowflakes drifted down in lazy spirals, covering the streets with a soft, white blanket. The air was alive with the sounds of carolers singing in corners, children laughing as they dragged sleds, and merchants calling out their wares in hopes of one last sale before the holiday. Shops glowed with golden light, their windows crowded with dazzling displays of ribbons, toys, and treasures. But inside a small, modest flat on the third floor of a crumbling brownstone, the air was heavy with worry rather than cheer. The young wife, Della, sat by the window, her eyes brimming with tears as she stared at the meager savings she had managed to scrape together over the past weeks. $1.87, she whispered to herself. She poured the coins onto the table, smoothing them with trembling fingers as if the mere act could stretch them into more. After all my bargaining, after all my pinching of pennies, this is all. Della had dreamed of buying her beloved husband, Jim, a Christmas gift worthy of the love she bore him. Something fine, something that would show him her devotion, something that would make him proud to call her his wife. But now, with less than $2 to her name, the dream felt impossible. Her husband worked tirelessly at a humble job, his wages barely enough to keep the roof over their heads and food on the table. Their flat was sparse and worn, thin curtains that did little to keep out the cold, furniture that had seen better days, and a mirror whose silver backing had begun to fade at the edges. Yet within these four walls resided a love richer than any palace could hold. Still, love could not purchase gifts. And Christmas, Della thought with a sigh, was not Christmas without a gift to lay in her husband's hands. She leaned into the window, watching the carriages roll by, her thoughts restless. Then her gaze fell on her reflection in the glass. Her eyes were swollen from crying, but what caught her attention was her hair, her long cascading hair that tumbled past her shoulders like a river of chestnut silk. Della's hair was her glory, envied by many and admired by all. It shone in the light, thick and lustrous, falling nearly to her knees when she let it down. At times, she would weave it into braids, and Jim would marvel at its beauty, gently letting the strands slip through his fingers as though they were spun gold. She stood suddenly, her breath catching with both fear and resolve. If I cannot buy Jim a gift with coins, she thought, perhaps I can buy it with the only treasure I own. Wrapping her hair beneath a shawl, she hurried into the snowy streets. The city was alive with holiday bustle, but she moved quickly, her heart pounding, until she reached a small shop with a faded sign, Madame Sofronie, hair goods of all kinds. The bell jingled as she entered, and a stout woman with sharp eyes looked up from behind the counter. "Will you buy my hair?" Della asked breathlessly, pulling off her shawl and letting her chestnut waves fall forward in a shining curtain. The woman's eyes gleamed. She stepped forward, lifting the strands with practiced fingers. $20, she said briskly. 20! Della gasped, relief flooding her chest. That was enough. More than enough. Yes, 20. Shall I cut it now? Della swallowed hard, her hands trembling, but she nodded. The scissors snipped, echoing like little bells of sacrifice. She felt the weight lift from her head, leaving her neck bare and cold. When the woman handed her the money, Della stuffed it quickly into her purse and ran back into the snowy street, her hair cropped short like a boy's. For the first time that day, joy replaced her worry. She had $20, plus her saved coins, nearly 22 in all. Surely with that, she could find the perfect gift for Jim. Della spent hours wandering through the shops, her eyes scanning every window. She rejected trinkets and baubles, dismissing cheap goods and useless gadgets. Nothing was fine enough. Nothing was worthy. And then she saw it. Behind a velvet-lined case in a small jeweler's shop gleamed a chain of simple yet elegant design. Platinum, strong and pure, with a quiet beauty that spoke louder than ornament. It was perfect for Jim's prized possession, his gold watch. That watch was Jim's treasure, passed down from his father and his grandfather before him. Though the leather strap that held it was worn and cracked, Jim carried it with pride, consulting it with reverence as though it ticked not hours, but memories. Della had often caught him glancing at it and then hiding it quickly, embarrassed by the poor strap. "This is it," she whispered. "This is the gift." The shopkeeper smiled kindly as he wrapped it. "It is a chain that will last a lifetime," he said. Della handed over $21, clutching the package with trembling hands. The remaining coins jingled faintly, but she didn't care. She had bought Jim a gift that would show him how deeply she cherished him. Moral of the story: true love is measured not by the price of gifts, but by the willingness to sacrifice for one another. Della and Jim gave from their hearts, and though their presents became useless, their love became eternal.